Hello there. This is Mary of Spiritual Voices, and with me today is one of my favorite people, Kristen Roberts Psychic Medium.
Hello.
She's pretty amazing. She's pretty gifted, and today we're going to talk a little bit about aliens and our experiences and visions that we've had with them.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome. Yeah, we're going to talk about something that's totally not normal, or isn't normal. It's a subject that's everybody is in the know or wants to know about, and that's aliens. And what we have seen in our visions, our thoughts, our dreams, and I'm sure there's a lot of you that have the same thing. So we'll just go right to the chase of it all and talk about our experiences. Mary will start first, of course.
All right, so laying in bed, and I blame this on you because this happened like the morning after I talked to you for 2 hours. And so I'm laying in bed, and then he went downstairs, and all of a sudden I'm drawn into this white room. It's a waiting room, and it has like a couple of windows and a row of black chairs, and they're pitch black. All of them are just pitch black. They're like shiny. And then all of a sudden there's a woman sitting in one of the first chairs, and I walk up to her, and she has a stick, and it's broken. And that kind of disturbs me. But then she says she's going to keep this one. And I said, okay. And I started to pull out of the vision. And then it really bothered me that the stick was broken. So I had to go back in. And I told her the stick was broken. And she said, well, that's okay. She goes, you'll see eventually. And then, I kind of started realizing I couldn't see her face, but she did have black hair and she was small. I started realizing that she was very, alien-like. I was talking to an alien. And she told me to watch for the shift of between now and 2029 because the timeline's going to shift and everything's going to shift. And I remember telling her, okay, I said, but you got to keep my town safe. And she said, okay. She says, I will. And then she gave me her name, which is Gearchoff, and then kind of explained to me about how the Germans were a science experiment. It had gone wrong, and that's why they kind of destroyed everything. The one thing I thought was kind of very more weird was when she was talking about the conspiracy theory with Hitler not really dying but escaping somewhere, and she said that they took him back home.
I believe that. I truly do on that.
And I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. And then she also told me specifically to watch out for the date of March 4th, 2020, that this was going to be like, transformational day for me. And then, 'cause it's all over.
Well, it's interesting because, the state that you were in, it's almost like you go into a deep trance or
Yeah.
a deep embodied trance where your body kind of like is there but not there kind of mode. And that's when you pick up a lot of stuff when you are very relaxed. And so that's usually when spirit will come talking to you or anything that's, when you're relaxed and your mind is at ease. And then you're able to receive messages. So that's awesome. We get that all the time. And maybe in the next podcast with Mary, you guys can do something live and talk about that and get feedback from from your viewers, your listeners. So that'd be next thing, viewers. When are you going to do a live one, by the way?
I'd like to do one.
Would you?
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. Well, go ahead. Did you figure out where you...
No, I think that's kind of pretty much it, other than, I just thought, I felt like what she's talking about when it comes to the 2029 shift, that this is going to be a big shift. And maybe not necessarily a negative one, but like the whole vibration,
Yeah.
I feel, is going to shift.
No,
And some people aren't going to be able to handle that vibration.
they won't either. It's almost like the full moon effect. A lot of people get that from the full moon,
Yep.
the vibrations off that. And with aliens and things, they will do a lot of telepathy. Their mouths aren't moving. It's all about mind to mind, ESP, and there's, in my study, I've come across that in nature probably the last, I don't know, 15 years. or more. I've had alien influences of people saying I've been on ships, many different ships. Like I was like the one that was sitting in the main seat, the captain. I can't imagine that. That'd be, but I've been told that, they around me all the time, when I talk to other mediums. It's just alien things you're going to experience them more and more. And these days. And the one experience just lately, within the last summer, my girlfriend, the Motor City Medium, tried to put me under to do a past life regression, right? Not. She tried, but with me, I'm a whole different type of person. So I went to the future. So here I am doing this. And, and I could hear in the back of my mind and it's hard for me to go down. I'm probably one of the worst critics. And I just know my guides are like, no, she don't need to know that. You're good. So I was pushed to the future and what I saw in the vision. And I'm sitting there and I could hear Becca in the back and my head. And as I'm looking, I found myself where there was mountains. I don't know if it was cold. It was cold. There was mountains. There was snow. Mountains everywhere. And she asked me what year it was, and I said it was 2029. So there's a click there with Mary.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And then another thing is, I'll tell you what, we ran into another, okay, this sounds like, okay, the same person, alien. So here we are. I'm now standing next to this opening of the mountaintop. Boom, there I was. There was like, I don't know, I think 10 to 15 people in a group. And I'm like, wow, okay, we're going to go explore this cave. Do you want to come? And I'm like, okay. And then as I'm walking through the cave, right, it's black, it's dark, but I could see my way. And then all of a sudden, people seem to be like dropping off. And then all of a sudden, the one woman is walking through. Hence, she had dark hair. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, well, I said, where are we going? And she just kept on walk with me. And then the mountains started shaping into a ship, like metal walls, from mountain to metal walls of a spaceship. And I started getting a little panicky, and I'm, telling, Becca, we need, I'm getting panicky. I'm not feeling this is too good. This is weird. I don't know how I'm adapt to this. She's like, push forward, push forward. And I'm like, ugh. So I'm walking through, and then she was just asking me questions. I could hardly hear, though. What's it smell like? Like, what was I experiencing through that? And I just remember it being dark, cold, and kind of danky at first, and then it turned metallic, like metal, like in a ship, warmer. So I'm like, okay, all right. And then we get up to the control board of the ship, and she is standing next to me at that point. And then I ask her, what am I doing here? What's going on? And all I can remember at that point is I wanted to run. I was like, holy crap, this is so unreal. But it was like right there, live, happening. And then I got nervous because I seen her twitching in her right arm. She had something in her hand. And I'm thinking, okay, but she got a weapon? What the hell is that? But, no, and I'm like, I need to pull out back. I said, I think she's got a weapon. And she's like, no, keep going, keep going. Oh, great. Okay. So I got, my heart started palpitating really, like I could feel my breathing getting erratic, but I felt calm, but just because I was scared.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That was messed up. But I could see like the darkness, like sky, like night sky and stars in front of the windows. So it wasn't mountain on the other side of that. I just thought of that, and then she opens up, like takes her right hand up, not open. Then she had like a long key that she put into the console of the control center. And I'm like, wait a minute, where are we going? She's like, you're coming with me. And I'm like, well, no, I'm not.
I wouldn't go either.
And she's like, well, you're not meant to be here. And I'm just like, well, I will go with you, with you when it's for the greater good of humanity. I said, I'm not going to go right now. I got too much going on here with my family. I'm thinking, I'm like, oh, hell no. And she's like, well, I'm coming back for you. I'm like, damn it. Why me? Why me? So anyway, that seemed pretty surreal to me. That did.
That's a deep one.
Yeah, it's different. Welcome to my brain,
I
right?
know.
Well, I've had several, but some of them are just, I was asking my friend. You probably know of her. I got a book of hers right here. I'll do a plug for you.
That's
Her name's
all right.
Andrea Perrin. It's called A Wonderful Behold. And I was asking her about it. And it's about a guidepost for intergalactic engagements with humanity. Right? So, she's an amazing person. This book is amazing. But she just said, yes, everything that you've gone through is true. She's like, so you're not alone out there. There's a lot of people, even if you just experience it, because everything's telepathic. Nothing is usually like talked with your mouth, verbally like humans do, it's all telepathic. So the different versions, different dreams, the different things, because I know I go to a higher dimension sometimes when I dream. It's just, and you just float out there, right?
Yeah.
Do you do the same?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And when you do that, you get to different places beyond this world, and that can get deep.
Oh yeah.
Real deep. Astral travel, everything. It's amazing. So, if you're ever, want to talk about different topics, and this one being a pretty good one, we can expand on that if you contact Mary. How do they contact you, Mary?
Spiritual Voices on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
All
Through
right.
Messenger.
There you go. And then that way, if there's any topics that you'd like to talk about that are something that we could help you with, or Mary can help you with,
Yeah.
and maybe she could, get Andrea Perry in there and talk a little
Hey.
bit more about her book. Would
I'm
be
gonna have to
great.
get her book, I think.
Yeah, great. And she, and we get to see each other a couple times during the year, and she shares everything about her. I mean, she calls them in. She does this beautiful singing. And,
Really?
Yeah, and she does it in front of lots of people, and she'll just start singing to the sky. And it happened in Holton Lake up here. One time she was here, and that was for photographs a couple years ago. And we were here together, and she was calling the spaceships. And not that time, I mean, didn't happen, but the times we see her before, there's actually lights up in the sky that were going off. And I guess, so it was a pretty, cool thing. There's a lot of activity up in this area,
Oh yeah.
Sasquatches, that was even on TV last week.
Was there one?
Yeah, and it talked about how they were here in my little town. So
Oh.
it's like, hello. So anyway, it's pretty pitch black up here now, and we got a lot of snow, a lot of woods, and so don't be surprised, what you walk into. Keep your mind open. Don't get too freaked out about things, because there's some incredible, weird. Okay, can I swear?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Weird shit. So, you know, and it's just, it's sort of like Captain Kirk, always watch those too. Something about space again. And it's just, you never know what frontier is ahead of you. What things can you explore? Don't shut your mind off to things, only if it's not for your highest good, of course, yes. But for the most part, open your mind, because if something does, and it will happen eventually here,
Oh yeah. Yep.
because the dates are being given to us, the times, dates, names. So we get that. So we definitely know that these aliens are coming out, and they're reaching multiple people with these contacts over many, many, many years. And it's just becoming very open. You see everything on the news. If you watch all these alien channels.
You see a lot more things more open to the possibility.
Hmm. Yeah.
It's impossible for us to be the only ones in the universe. It's just impossible.
No,
There's just
yeah. The galaxy's way too big.
that. Yeah.
It's way too big. And I just know that there is more out there. When I remote view, I was telling Mary, we had a conversation about different things. When I work off numbers and longitude, latitude, I can see different planets. I know even on this planet there was holes in the North and South Pole. And Admiral Byrd, I did like a 4-page remote thing for my husband and Tom Roberts, and he's just like, okay, so he does the validation by puts it on. He saves the whole documentary on TV, right? And then he'll get the longitude and latitude. Then he sends me those numbers, and I write it down automatic writing, right? And then I'm writing everything down, and it's just cool that I got it, and I seen that there was another whole alien civilization. I can't say the word civilization. I seen the animals. It was like another planet within the planet. And they definitely wasn't human beings at that time, okay? And, but Admiral Byrd discovered it, and he was told to shut up, to hush it up. So, and there's a big thing about that. So you never know what you can do and what you learn, and I'm saying, okay, this is what's happening, and then time will validate it, or vice versa. So it's just not something made up. It's life.
That it is. Yeah. I think it's a bigger part of our lives than people realize.
Yeah.
Maybe they're our higher selves.
There is. Yeah. 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 I think a lot of it can be tied in with the times of Egyptian,
Yeah.
the pyramids, and the Mayans.
I feel like that's where it all starts.
Yeah. I know it is. I can say that, and I
Well,
agree.
that's what in my vision she said to me that the Mayans went to the Galactic Center,
See.
and that's where their hubs are. Is the Galactic Center, which is basically where the center of the universe.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Whoop,
The
there
black
it is.
hole.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that wouldn't, and that's an incredible voyage. Could you imagine just being in a ship and going there? That'd be awesome.
Yeah, just
I could see myself
that's a
being
crazy
doing that.
thought, but yeah, it's probably not far off.
Yeah. Well, I know they should be working on that part of it too, as far as working in space more than they, even our Earth. They don't do enough underneath the seas. You know how many aliens, like Michigan has its own vortex. Did you know that? Okay. Well, that vortex, it's like, okay, the triangle, okay, that goes on the left side, the whole upper strait, okay, of the Michigan there. And that's where ships have come up missing and all kinds of weird stuff. So there's evidence there that, there's different things in this world we just cannot explain. And so being who we are, if we can offer just a smidgen of insight to what we've experienced,
Well, because there's a lot of people out there that have a similar story. They just don't tell anybody because they don't want to sound batshit crazy. But
you know how many people are batshit crazy in this world?
Yeah, I don't care if I sound like it.
Yeah,
It's all right.
that's right.
Well, just like ley lines, where you have your energy centers. You take out your county map, and you outline like all the big historic places within that county. You're gonna find triangles, and those are your ley lines. And in between that, we'll have like a strong amount of high vibrational energy.
Yeah.
So like over by Gun Lake, there's Double Soup Bowl. That's in that area.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Yep.
I've heard of that. Yeah, yeah. Huh. Yeah. There's many. You said it was the what, whole soup?
Double Soup Bowl.
Okay,
Yep.
all right. So I just got this vision when you were saying it. It's just almost like it's like these opened water, like huge, like swirling, right? And it swirls around all this deep. Like, can you imagine, like, opening of a water mass, and then it twirling into ships are sinking within it?
Yeah, that's kind of a crazy thought.
I wouldn't want to be on a ship. Can you imagine,
No.
like the Titanic or?
No. Mm-mm.
So, but there was Atlantis underneath the world. There's a whole topic on that. There's a whole different belief on that, and I believe in that. So, and I think that history doesn't, it will dictate it. So if you are really a historian, paying attention to your history, way back, going forward, The clues, evidence are there. They set it in motion for us. You know, they're the ones. We are who we are because of them. And and I do believe there are different. There's higher up, different levels, different levels that you talked about in the last talk show,
Yeah.
uh, that you go up to. And being gifted, we're all gifted. It depends on how you want to tune into your gift and what you're gifted of. But we all have the ability to open that up.
Yep. Well, you have to first believe in it and have faith in it.
Automatically. That's automatic. Yeah.
So, some people don't want it though. Some people are scared of it. I know a lot of people that I've seen
Yeah.
that are gifted but are afraid to tap into it because it's fear-based and there's
Yeah.
nothing to be afraid of.
That's correct. And, well, that's because they don't have no one to talk to. And they're afraid of coming out, like you said. So, and a lot of it is what they when they grew up and what you're taught.
Yeah.
And your principles, your beliefs, your background of your spiritual, what you're believing in, good God above, to, the earthly elementals, to whatever, your deities, you know, so your Buddhas. I wouldn't go into all of it,
Yeah, it's all the same thing. It's just a different path that you
Yeah.
connect with the most. I think that's why there's so many different religions and faiths. It's just to give you something to connect to and to have faith.
Yes.
So,
Well, I get that. I would say seriously, easily. I mean, I read for thousands in a year. It seems like, and I would check that a lot of the cards and the things I work with, the oracle cards, and the things that are my visions, they're always challenging people. What is your spirituality? What do you believe in? You need to start believing in it. And all these messengers are just basically, again and again and again. I mean, no matter what city, what person, who I'm talking to, it's weird. It's just like, okay, they're the ones that are drawing the deck. And they're picking these cards out, or I'm picking them out. It is cool to see that there is a pattern. And, I did have this vision during the daylight a couple years ago back at our old property there in Springport. Um, it was like evening, not dusk yet, almost, but it's still nice out, beautiful evening, right? And all of a sudden, my husband and I were sitting on the back deck, and we see this line shoot from the field across to the water to the back of the pond. And I'm like, we both looked at each other and said, what the hell? And all of a sudden, our mouths are both open looking at each other because that land was pretty spiritual. Okay, I get it. And he started talking, and I'm like, shh, shh. I'm going to get the message. Shh, just a minute. And the thing is, when this portal opened, this awesome portal, I mean, this light was just so bright. It wasn't something little. And then this vision I seen was the Aztec warriors. They all had symbols on their cheeks, right? Badass. And they all had either their sticks, their weapons,
mm-hmm.
their shields, their armor, right? And there must have been, I would say, thousands behind them. They were just they didn't, the only thing they said is, are you ready for the spiritual wars? So what I'm saying to you is, keep an open mind, watch your back door, keep close to your loved ones, and find your happiness. And don't be afraid to come out and talk, because you're not alone.
Nope. There's always healing right around the corner from somebody.
Mm.
I think that's the scariest part of the spiritual journey is the healing process.
Yes.
But you have to go through it.
Yeah. And it can be awesome, or it can be hell, depending on what road you're going down, what journey, how high do you want to go. But it takes time.
Mm-hmm.
It takes energy. It takes patience, understanding, empathy, because you change, you modify, you shift. I would say your inner soul can shift with it, like your whole outlook in life.
It does.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when you are able to touch another person's depth of soul, who they are, and do readings like that, and you see all these visions that I see with these people, and some of them are pretty creepy, and I see stuff swirling around them, and some deep stuff with different people that we meet in our life, right?
Yeah.
And you just gotta be protective. You gotta be safe. You gotta be open-minded, but you also gotta do the work to be safe. It's very hard.
Yes, it is. Okay. I have to tell you my last alien dream before we close out. Okay. So I'm in my bedroom, and all of a sudden, the guy from Thor, he comes in with that hot, with the hot guy from Criminal Minds, that black one.
Okay.
Okay. They came in together, and they told me that the aliens were coming, and that I needed to go spread the word to everybody to let them know that they were friendly, so not to start a war, that they were just coming here to live. And I said, yeah. And they said, we're aliens. I'm like, so you're telling me hot people are aliens?
Yeah.
And then I woke up. However, 3 days after that, I was watching Men in Black 3. And Will Smith was coming down the stairs. And two hot models walked by him. He's like, I would have never thought all the hot people were aliens.
Because they
I'm
were
like,
in L.A.
I'm like, there,
I
I'm
watched it too.
like, there you go.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
Well, you see, there's aliens. We walk among them now. We
Yeah.
walk clearly among them. And if you don't know that, I hope you get learning, because there's a lot of freaky things happening out there. And, I'm just blessed that I, have a happy life, that I'm not too out there.
Well, hopefully, if anything, even if somebody isn't a believer, they might listen to this and think, oh, wait a minute. And then try to start seeing things differently.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, dreams are there to help you understand and process things. Sometimes you just are able to be in the moment when you're dreaming like that, when it's so surreal, when it's so vivid. Just like when, you have family that talk to you in spirit when you're dreaming like that, and you have dreams of them.
Yeah.
And, and then you wake up all emotional and teary-eyed because of that damn dream. Well, yeah, they came to visit you last night. So, yeah, when you get up spiritually, it's cool, but I got to see my parents that way.
Yeah.
And it took, your dream state. It takes you a while, depending on the passing of your loved one, to come to you.
Yeah.
You got to be patient on that, because if you're still distraught, they're not going to come to you if you're all still.
Yeah, it
they want to put more
blocks
pain
the
on you.
energy.
Yeah.
Well, that's a lot to think about.
Always is.
Like,
around us.
so like Kristen said, if you have anything you want to talk about, you want to learn about, message me or even message her on Facebook.
Kristen Roberts. Oh, my website's KristenRobertsMedium.com.
Okay.
And
We should. Where's it at?
over the bridge. Let me find out. I'll give you an address here. It is. Gotta put that mic right here. All right. It's Saturday, February 29th. Starts at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Touching Your Inner Spirit Psychic Fair. And it's going to be at I can't even say it. Can you?
I'm going to say, I should have said, I was going to say less chestnuts, but it's chestnut or something like that.
Just Chestnut Distilleries. It's in the main tasting room and restaurant there. Good food, good spirits. You'll see it on my Facebook page, and it is, let me see here. It's 172 South Meridian Street, Cedarville, Michigan. We'll be there until 5 o'clock doing readings, and it looks like it's going to be a great day. A new moon is hosting this fair. Her name is Jessica Corsican, and they're going to have an added bonus of a 30-minute yoga class, as well as a 30-minute Qigong class prior to, I think that's from 10 to 11, and then we go into reading between 11 and to 5. So should be a great day. if you're out and about, yes, it's over the bridge, a little bit further. If anybody's listening out there, and maybe we'll meet an alien there, way up there, because the zoo. Yeah, well, I'm just saying, there's a lot of cool things up there. So come on out, and hopefully get to see Mary and I tomorrow. We're having a great day and hanging out. So thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank you.